here we have this website that 13-1, and you know, run it and remind yourself about it. You know, you notice it's got this bootstrap there that makes it, you can, you know, it's good for any size, you know, and then when you change the invoice, the list items for that invoice appear. Okay, so that's how this website works, and this is running on a, you know, I got an IIS server, you know, with ASP.NET, and it's on your computer. So what I would like you to do is step 1, on your server using PHP, JavaScript, and MySQL, create the exact same functioning website you completed in exercise 13-1. Make the file names the same except for their extensions, and you'll need to copy over all the supporting directories and files for Bootstrap. And so basically you take this, you view the source, and this is what the web page looks like, and this is what you start with. Just copy this out, save it in an editor, and then, you know, you got to make sure you copy all these files, these folders right here, and they're all just right there on your, they're right there on your computer. You just go down and find them, and you just FTP those over, and it's real easy to get something that looks like this working. Not this part, okay? This part is the harder part. But it's real easy, and it takes about 5 or 10 minutes to make it so this thing is on your server, you know, ICS415.com/ you know, something. We're going to start with a running solution 13-1. Let me stop this. I don't need to have it running now. And I've got this page here, and this is the source. And so I'm going to open up my editor, and I'm going to open it up to a new HTML page, and I'm going to go back to my source, and I'm going to copy all this, and I'm going to paste it here. And okay, and I'm going to save it as, I'm going to create another 12 o'clock class final. And I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to name it, I guess I should name it the same, default.php. All right, so now I've got this nice HTML file here, default.php. And then, let me save this. And so let me go into my, and I'm going to just use FTP. You can use whatever you want, but I'm going to make it easier on myself and use what I'm kind of used to here. And I'm going to go into ICS 415, and I'm going to create another folder here. I was practicing earlier. I'm going to create another one called final-1200 0000. Hey, how's that? Okay, so I've got this new folder here, and I'm gonna so I'm gonna do all my stuff in there. So I'm gonna go into where I was, and I'm gonna go in here, and I'm gonna FTP that down. And now when I look at ICS415.com/final-1200, and I look at it, it looks like that, which is not much of anything, okay? So let's go back here, and we notice that we need the content, you know, we need the content directory, we need the scripts directory, and we might need some other stuff here. I think we do. Let's go look and see exactly what we have here. We probably probably have to copy in the content directory, the fonts directory, the images directory. Yes, that's the banner there. What's models? I don't know. We don't need to do scripts. All these bootstrap fingers. Okay, let's copy over all that stuff. So here's my directory. I'm gonna go find it, find my solution file. I think I had one in here. Here's the solution. This one. Solution 13 invoice line items. I'm going to go in there, go in here, go in here, and I got to copy over the scripts. What is properties? What is that anyway? Oh, this is ASP.NET stuff. Don't need that. Anyways, scripts, images, fonts, content. All right, I'm going to send that over. And while that's happening, I'm going to go back here. And, you know, I can get rid of a lot of stuff. I can get rid of all this stuff. Actually, I can get rid of this whole thing. But anyway, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to come back to that. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to set up the database. Because I have to transfer the database. So let's look at the database over here. And let me log into my cPanel, ICS 415/cPanel. Advanced. And I'm going to go into my MySQL databases, and I'm going to create a new database called, I'm going to call it Final 1200. Okay, that's a nice name for a database. And I'm going to create a new user called Final 1200. And for the password, I'm going to be create the user. And then I need to connect my Final 1200 user to my Final 1200 database. And I'll give that user all the privileges. And now let me go back out here, and I'm going to go to PHP and I'm going to open up Final 1200, and here I am. And so now I'm going to upload two files, two tables. Let's go in here, and I want to upload the invoices table. So I'm going to click on invoices. I'm going to right click. Oops, wrong one. And I'm going to show table data. And then I'm going to click right up here, and so it's all blue. And then I'm going to go up here to edit, and I'm going to say copy. And then I'm going to open up Excel. And I'm going to open up a new blank workbook. And I'm going to right click and paste match destination formatting. Boom, there's all my data. And I need to go down to the bottom here, and this is important, get rid of the last null line. Otherwise you have trouble uploading. And then I also am going to insert a new line at the top, and I need to say what the first column line numbers are. So this first column at the top, there is the invoice number, there is the customer email, there is the order date, there is subtotal, there is ship method, there is shipping, sales tax, total, credit card, makes me nervous having credit card information here, card number, expiration month, and expiration year. Doesn't matter, we're not going to use those fields. Okay, and the other thing we got to do here is we have to change the format of this date. I'm going to format cells, and I'm going to go custom, and I'm going to replace the word general right here with YYYY-MM-DD. Enter. And now it looks like this MySQL date format where we have the 4-digit year, hyphen 2-digit month, hyphen 2-digit day. And so this is what it looks like. And so I'm going to save this, save as. I'm going to go into this folder I was in. And I'm going to first save this as an Excel file. I'm going to call it final. Okay, so this is an Excel file. The reason I'm doing that is I'm going to just do the second one in here also. I got to do invoice, or I got to do line items. So let's do line items. I'm going to go over to line items and right click, show table. And I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to edit and copy, and I'm going to go back over to this one, second sheet, right click. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the A2, and I'm going to right click and do match destination formatting. There we go. And before I do anything else, I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom and get rid of this null line. And then I'm going to go back up here, and I have to put the names of the columns up at the top. Invoice number, product ID, unit price, quantity, extension. All right. And so now let me just save this whole Excel workbook here, and now I'm going to go back to sheet 1, and I'm going to save this out as an Excel file. I know, as a .csv file. And when you're saving out .csv files, you can only save one worksheet at a time. So let's do file. I got the first one, the invoices. File, save as. Let's see, before I do anything else, make sure you save this, because then we don't have to bother saving it again. So file, save as, and in the same directory, I'm going to select .csv, and I'm going to name it Invoices. Enter. Okay. All right. That's fine. Now it's done. Now I'm going to go over to sheet 2, and I'm going to do the same thing. File, save as, and it defaults to .csv. That's nice. And I'm going to change the name to line items. Enter. Okay. All right. Now I'm done. So I can just close this. And I'm actually done with that too, but I'm just going to minimize it. All right, now I'm going to import these two tables, and I'm in my my database here, and so I'm going to click Import, and I'm going to choose a file, and I'm going to choose Invoices.csv, and I'm going to click on the first line of this file. It contains the table column names, and I'm going to click Go. And it works. So I'm going to click Table 1 here, and that's a lot of nice data there. Careful about these card numbers. And I'm going to click Operations and change the name of it to Invoices, just like that. And then I'm going to go back to Final 1200 up here so we just see the tables. There should be just one table there. And then I'm going to import line items. So I'm going to click Import, choose File, Line Items, and I'm going to scroll down here and click the first line, contains the table column names, Go. And I'm going to click on Table 2 here. And here we have this nice table of line items. And now I'm going to click Operations, and I'm going to change the name of this to Line Items. Go. All right, so now when we click up here, Final 1200, we see that I've got invoices and line items. Okay, good, I'm done with this. Let's go, let's keep moving here. I'm going to create a global.html file. So where's a good place to find a nice global.html file? It's right in this campus travel one. Let me go here, and let me go here, this one, this should look just like this. I'm going to grab this here, new normal text, paste, and in here I'm going to put my database, which was ICS 415A underscore. Okay, so this is the file I just created, and let me go back over to my. This is my folder that I created for my final, and I'm going to shoot that down there. And so now I got that there. And let me go now to, now it's going to start the nitty gritty here. Let me do something to grab out the invoices. Okay, this here gets invoices. So let me just, this part here. Well, that's whatever. This is good enough. Well, let me just. Okay, so return this. This reads out invoices where total is greater than 300. Remember, that's really what we're doing. And this is fine. This thing, I don't need. Okay. All right. So this here, forget about this. Doing this here. Let me go to the select statement. All right, now's the time to get rid of this crap. This is going to be PHP. And whatever, I might go back and use that sometime. Here, select. Wow, we're going to fix that. Right here, throw some PHP in here. Put that in there. And what this is going to be, while this happens, do this. And I think I don't need to actually forget. I don't need to. I'll do echo quote. I'm going to do single. Oh, I'm going to do quote, option value equals double quote, single quote, concatenate record. Oh, did something wrong here. Single quote, concatenate record invoice number dot single quote, double quote, and option tag, and then I'm just going to put invoice number again, right? Yeah. Single quote dot this again. Dot single quote and option. Semicolon. All right, that'll just spew out all of the, option tags. There's going to be this here. Okay, so we need to throw in a selected if a particular line item, no, not line item, option is selected. So what that is that's got to be a invoice number. So up here in this PHP, let me grab out. See, I don't need any of this now. I don't need any of that. Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, I'm going to let me just comment this out. Let me comment it out this way. Wow. I'm just going to comment this out because I want to still see it. I had started something here. Okay, these are all copied down. I wonder what it's going to look like now. Let's let me just save this and FTP this down, which is this one. And now let's see what it looks like when I go to it. Is that this one? No, it's. Didn't I have it up here someplace? I guess not. ICS415.com/final12. Okay, here we go. This one. Now when I go to here, what does it look like? Whoa, it's pretty close. We're getting there. See that? So now all of the bootstrap is in there, and this is there. But we have a problem here with this query. And so let's figure out what that problem is. Oh, I need to include global.php. Now let's send this down and see what it looks like. Huh? Oh, I know what I did wrong. I need to take out, I have a header in this global.php to make it be send out a JSON file. So I gotta fix that. View, delete, save, close, FTP down. Now let's do this. There we go. And we've got all of these here filled in with the select. If you don't believe me, I will take all these out. Well, anyway, I'll do that in a moment. What I need to do here is I got to change this into a and what I need to do is there needs to be some sort of invoice number coming in. So let me go invoice number equals, and I'm going to do a request so it'll accept both a get and a post. When my thing is running, I'll be using post, but when I test it, I'm going to use get. So you'll see what I mean. Request invoice number. Okay, so now that that's there, I can do this. Notice that in this thing here, you notice the selected goes right here. Normally, convention is to put it at the end, but I think I'll just put it there. I'll just put it the same place it puts it. So the way to do that is I'm going to do single quote, semicolon, enter, echo, space, single quote. I better put a space there. Okay, so that is what I'm going to put another space here too. You can never have too many spaces. Okay, so right here I'm going to say if invoice number equals this, then echo selected equals selected, double quote, selected. Single quote. Okay, so I've got a space here and a space here, so that's okay. So what happens is as this is running, if there was an invoice number passed in, and if that invoice number is equal to the invoice number that it's just about, the option is just about to send out, we're going to throw in a little selected equals selected there. And so I'm going to get rid of this now. And now I'm going to save this. And I'm going to send this down. And now when I do a refresh, nothing is selected. But if I do question mark invoice number equals, I don't know, what's some number? 1062. 1062. Then 1062 is selected. See? And when we do right click, we see that here, it's all jammed up. 1062 is selected. Okay, you can do me a favor and go like this. Okay, that'll put a carriage return there. Okay, so all right, so now we have that, but what we need to do is we need to populate this right here. We need to populate it with the actual data. And so we're going to do another select here. I'm going to throw some of this. I can actually, the select is, okay, I can do this. I'm going to do another one here. I guess I don't even need that part. I'm going to do another one here after we know this. I'm going to call this return items. And it's going to be, I better create this outside. SQL equals, it's going to be select this from line items. Okay, just like that. I guess invoices got to equal something, because otherwise it's just going to display, you know, hundreds of line items. So I'm going to do something here like, I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just going to say where invoice number equals single quote, I don't know, invoice number times 1. So that means if it comes in blank, it'll turn into 0. Invoice number. And that way this won't fail, because if it's blank, then it'll fail. Okay, that's simply that. And next I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to put something just like this down here. Like right here. And let me get rid of this. And this is going to be this is going to be return items. And I'm going to call this item, just to make it a little different. And so I'm going to loop here, and it's just going to be, well, I don't need that. It's fine. Oh, right here, I'm going to do, this is the, must be the, what is this one called? Product ID. So this is going to be PHP echo $item product ID and PHP. So that'll put product ID in that place. And here I'm going to put whatever the price is, whatever the quantity is, and whatever the extension is. And it's called unit price, quantity, and extension. It's called unit price, quantity, and extension. And let me throw in some ending PHP here to end the loop. There, that's enough. And I don't need the second line here. And I don't need this garbage down here. And okay, this is crap. All right, let's see what this looks like. Now let me refresh this. And it looks like that's unit 60602. That's, now we go to 1027, doesn't do anything. 1027. 27 looks like this. And I guess that's what that looks like. What I should really do is have this running also. And when I go 1040, it looks like this. And if I go 1040 here, it looks like the same thing. Oh, that's pretty cool. I don't know why that one's so much bigger. I don't know why that is. There's a reason for that. Could be something simple. Anyway, all right, so we're almost done, 10 minutes. We need to make it so when this thing when this thing changes, it does a postback. This does a timeout. I don't think we need to have a timeout. I'm just going to say, when this thing changes, this form submit. Why do I call this DD invoice? I'm going to change this to invoice number. That might cause a problem. I'm going to leave it that. I'm going to leave it DDL invoice, and I'm going to change this to DDL invoice. Oops. That's what it is, right? DDL invoice. Yes. So now it's going to come in as DDL invoice, and it's going to look for DDL. Okay, invoice number. Okay, that's fine. All right, so let's see if this works. Okay, first of all, I'm going to shoot this down, and since I changed that DDL invoice, it's not going to. This will just end up being nothing. It is nothing. But let's us try to do 1041. Okay, let's try to do 1027. Ooh. All right. Now we're gonna go in and connect up the. Oh, we need to create our APIs. We're going to do Angular, so we need to create our APIs. Let's go back to here. This is our default page. The APIs are going to consist of, I give them to you right here. One is called getinvoices.php. So let's just copy this here. Copy. And I'm going to make a new, I'm just going to get rid of this. And I'm going to save this as getinvoices.php. All right. And let's do the next one. That's this one. And this is get line items. This is get line item. It's actually, I'm going to call it get line item because that's actually more consistent name for it. Get line item.php. I better remember that. And I'm going to send this down. This is the line item. This is get invoices. So when I get invoices, it looks like, okay, there's my invoices. And I think I can go to here and go invoice number. What happens if I do question mark invoice number equals 1026? There it is. There's invoice. Those are the items, line items for invoice 1026. Okay, so my APIs work. I need to add the support directories, the support code for Angular. And I could go track down and download it from Angular.js. But since I have Ionic Creator available to me, I'm going to use that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Ionic Creator, and I'm going to make a very simple, basic page that comes close to having this stuff on it. And then I'm going to take those files that were created by that, and I'm going to use those. I'm going to FTP those down to my directory and hook up the rest of the directives and so on. Creator.ionic.io. And here's my project, and I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to call it Halloween 300. And it's going to be blank project, create project. And the first thing I'm going to throw in there is a, let me change the title of this too. Doesn't matter. Halloween. Let me export this. And it looks like it's exported. And I'm going to open it up. And I am interested in this file because it's got all these things that we're going to have to access. And I'm going to actually just use this file, and I'm going to change the first page. I'm going to use the first page too, and I'm going to take my code from ASP.NET and I'm going to copy that into the template down here. So that's down here, and then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to copy in all of the library. This is Ionic down here, and here's some CSS, and there we got all of our Angular stuff is down here. There's all the Angular stuff. So we're going to need all that. We're just going to copy all that down. And the other thing we're going to look at is the JavaScript, and we're going to copy all these files down too. And we're going to go in and modify this one, the controller. We're going to put our page controller in there. And we're also going to modify the services, and we're going to throw a couple services in here to access the APIs. And for services, I'm going to need one for get invoices and get line items. So they would probably look just like the ones for getting, how about get sale? What does get sale look like? Get sale, I actually have to specify an ID number. Here. Oh, this is the controller. This is the controller. So while I'm here, I'm going to grab this. Something that looks like get sale is going to go into the controller right here. It's going to be get invoices is going to run just from running. Let me copy this again. It's going to be two of them. Get invoices does not need an argument, and it does not need this either. And it's going to be loaded into something called invoices, and I don't need this. And then there's going to be a get line items function, but that's actually going to be called when you change the select options, the select option. So I need to find something that sets that up as a function. I'm just going to grab this. And I'm going to put it over here in my, right here. I'm just going to throw it in right here. And really what I'm looking for is this scope get list items. I'm going to take this. And I'm going to put it in here. And I'm going to put this here. And this is going to be get line items. And it's going to be scope data invoice number. I need to throw in something to declare scope data. And this is going to be GERDs. I don't need this. And it's going to be items. I think this might be all I need for my controller. Oh, I better put get invoices, get line items. Okay, let me save this. And so, and in my services, I'm going to have to put my two services in here. Let me go down to find some services. This is going to be similar to get line item. Get line item. That's right, it's singular, isn't it? Yeah. And this is going to be invoice number. And it's going to be, the query is going to be question mark invoice number equals invoice number. That was passed in, and we are going to have our API be https://ccrd. Got to run a secure server redirect, and it's going to be in final 3000 / get line item .php question mark query, and I think that works for that. That's get line item, and I also need one for get invoices, and I don't need an argument, I don't need a query, and I just need get invoices, and I don't need this. All right, so that looks pretty good. Let me just save this. I'm going to start copying these down because I'm here. And I'm going to copy JS. Oh, I'm going to copy lib and JS down. Okay, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to go into final. I'm going to go into templates, and I'm going to replace this Halloween.html. This is my default.php. I'm going to open this up, and I need to copy these links. I'm going to clean out stuff I don't need in here. I certainly don't need this. I'm not going to really need this. No, I'll just leave that there. I don't need this. I am not going to need this down here. I'm not going to need this. And I'm going to copy these. These links here are for Bootstrap. And so I'm going to cut these out and put them in my index file up at the top. I'll throw them in right here. Okay, I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to go to here and see what I do for a select where I don't need to have a blank at the top. A select where I don't need to have a blank at the top is an update sale, and it looks something like maybe this. I'm going to copy this over. And so that's right here. This is the select right there. NG model, this is going to be data dot invoice number. NG options, invoice number as invoice dot invoice number. The reason they're the same is because you notice that in the drop down what we see is the invoice number, and the value that's going to be sent in is also the invoice number. They're the same, so that's fine. For invoice in invoices. And that should take care of the select. And then for down below where we display out the table, right here, and the next right here, and the third one that goes right here, and the fourth one is okay. And what loops? This TR tag loops, and all this stuff can be taken out. Okay, so this TR loops. This TR is the title, so I got to put in something in there to make it a loop, and that would be in something that's like search results, NG repeat sale in sales. That's fine. Right here, we need something called NG repeat. This is item in items. Okay, NG model. When this thing changes. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of these things here, and I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to change the name of this to Halloween Old. And I'm going to save this as Halloween. .html. So now I've got a new Halloween.html. All right, so now I'm going to FTP down templates. I didn't save this and change it. Okay, I gotta. Sorry, oops. There's a lot of big difference here. Okay, here we go. And now this top bar here, we can get rid of that top bar by just getting rid of this nav bar. Let's save this, send this down again. All right, the nav bar is gone. This isn't working. Let me open up this. Get invoices is not defined. Get invoices is not defined. I remember I messed up with the names. This should be get line item. Get line items. No, get line item. Get line item. get line item, invoices line item. Oh, boy, I blew this one. This needs to be down here, and these need to be in quotes. All right, let's try this. Okay, now we change it to 27. It doesn't work. I need to do the ng change equals get line item. There, the event handler. We need the event handler. And this goes down in templates. This one. So now when I refresh this and I change this, wait a minute, this is lowercase g. This needs to be lowercase g. And services, I need some, right here, I need a var. Dumb. Okay. Huh? Okay. So that's it. Thanks for watching.